Y'all want to hear about House Mortan? Okay, let me sit down. We are going over House Mortan, the Imperial Knight Codex, right? These are Imperial Knights from the Imperial choices. House Mortan, very cool. After this, we'll take a little break, and then we will go into the Questor Mechanicus Knights. I am an AdMech player, so I kind of favor those. But this one looks fun. Let's find out what it does. House Mortan, House Rules. +1 to hit in the fight phase if you charge, got charged, or made a heroic intervention. Now this one's a little similar to Griffith, which they get +1 attack, and all of their models get a heroically intervene. This one, you get +1 to hit if you charged, got charged, or heroically intervene, but you don't all get to do it unless you make your models characters. So that one's cool. +1 to hit's strong because it makes your Thunder Strike gauntlets more reliable. Could make your Wounded Knight still hit on 3s, your Unwounded Knight hits on 2s, your really Wounded Knight hit on 2s if he's a Gallant. You know, cool stuff. If you need to swing for chainsword attacks at a vehicle, it just helps give you that reliability of putting, you know, 2 or 3 hits through. So that's strong. Now this one I like a lot here. Mortan Stratagem. 1 command point, ignore modifiers for shooting, plus or minus. So for the most part, there's not anything in House Mortan that I'm aware of that gives you a + to hit, but there's definitely things in the game that give you a - to hit, and ignoring that, pretty cool. So that -2 or -3 to hit Hemlock Wraith Fighter or unit of Rangers or all of those things in the same army, you just spend 1 command point and your model ignores modifiers for shooting. I do believe it is your model. I'm going to double check that before I misspeak. Hold on, sorry. I am very unprofessional. Oh, bear with me. Okay, use the stratagem in your shooting phase before choosing a House Mortan unit from your army to shoot with. Till the end of the phase, that unit ignores all modifiers, positive and negative, when making attacks. So, if you have a lot of guns, and they have, say, a bunch of Eldar Rangers, this might be the, you know, use this command point, split fire, shoot them all. Now you're hitting them all on 3s. Pretty cool. You're hitting that Hemlock Wraith Fighter on 3s. And you're going to shoot, say, put this on a Castellan with a Volcano Gun. You go Volcano Gun at 1 Hemlock, overcharged Plasma Gun at 1 Hemlock, Shield Breaker Missile at Farseer? That's another stratagem, but say you just Shield Breaker Missile at something, and then you Siege Cannon at that Hemlock you shot with your Plasma Gun just to make sure it's dead. And all they were relying on for this was their minuses to hit. And your whole model for all his guns just ignored it for 1 command point. Pretty cool. I like that one a lot. You also can overcharge your Plasma Gun, which means you only on rolls of 1 will suffer mortal wounds. So you're not going to be like on 1s and 2s because they're -1 to hit or something. So it'd be a good way to pop a couple Harlequin transports maybe first turn. They of course have an invuln save, but it's only a 4-up and they only have like 5 or 6 wounds on the vehicle anyway, so it's pretty easy to destroy. Also, mods to shooting are plus and minuses to hit. They are not rerolls. So if you have an Armiger with 2d3 autocannon shots, say, that do 3 damage, he could be hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s next to a Preceptor, and still ignore positive or negatives to hit. So that's kind of cool. There's not a lot of things that give you like reroll shooting in this book as far as I've seen so far, but definitely a cool one and definitely powerful So +1 to hit in the fight phase, obviously powerful. Ignore modifiers for shooting, which is basically saying ignore negative modifiers because you don't have a lot of positive ones to begin with. Pretty cool. What is your Warlord trait? It's got to be cool, right? House Mortan. Sounds cool. Your Warlord trait is -1 to hit your Warlord while he's 18 inches away. Or if you're 18 inches away, your opponent's -1 to hit you. So your Castellan Warlord, with his plasma gun and volcano gun and 2 siege breaker cannons and siege breaker missile or shield breaker missiles, or however you want to load it up, melta-guns that you have to take, which you might not get around to shooting very often. Now he's a -1 to shoot at him too. Pretty cool, right? Now let's say they go first with that shadow sword and they're hitting you on 5s. They're not looking forward to that at all, right? Unless they're a Vostroyan to try and counter that with their stratagem. Hitting you on 5s is, you know, not their best plan. And remember, if they have, say, a reroll misses and they roll 4s, they don't re-roll those because some silly thing GW decided in their FAQ is if your dice is a hit and then modified to not a hit, you don't re-roll it because re-rolls are before modifiers. Doesn't make sense to me because then it's like you're tricking the dice. But whatever, that's how they ruled it. So also super powerful. Anything that makes your knights tougher, especially the bigger, when you're going to spend a lot of points into one model, being harder to hit is powerful. -1 to hit 18 inches away does not protect you from like Dark Reapers, but hopefully you will be able to find some other relics or something to add to your defense, or some other stratagems to add to your resiliency. And on top of that, your relic for House Mortan, the last of our Imperial Knight, Imperialis review, is a giant sword. This giant sword is strength +6. It's AP -4 and it's D6 damage. Every time you roll a wound roll of 6, you do D3 additional mortal wounds on top of the 6 damage hit. So on a wound roll of 6, you could be doing 9 damage. Pretty cool. And remember, this is coming on the same house that is +1 to hit if they got charged, or made a heroic intervention. So if your knight has a sword, maybe give him this sword. Especially if you paid for some extra relics. If you're going to take the sword anyway, you might as well make it a good sword, right? Can't go wrong with having a good sword. So that's all I got for you right now. Please subscribe. We'll be coming up on the Quester Mechanicus Knights houses next. There's only like 4 of those. Thank you for watching. Please let me know in any of my house review videos which one you like the best. You could vote. I'd prefer if you just thumbs up all of them so people find these videos easier. But maybe just thumbs down the ones you don't like and thumbs up the one you do, or comment which one's your favorite, or leave a comment on your thoughts on how to use each individual house, however you want to do it. Most importantly, have a good day and, you know, kill some Harlequins.